Sinn Féin has accused the government of throwing renters to the wolves by bringing in new rental laws next month that it says will push up rents even higher. However, the Taoiseach has said the new rules will give renters greater security while also moving towards ending no-fault evictions.
Anger outside the Dáil as politicians debate the law to bring in sweeping changes to the rental market. Under this law, landlords will be able to reset rents to market rates for new tenancies, while those tenants will be able to stay in the property for 6 years in most cases. But the opposition claims this means renters will be hit with huge rent hikes.
You're on the side of very large corporate landlords, not just any common or garden landlord, no. The large ones and the vulture funds. They want market rate and you are giving it to them on a silver platter.
In the depths of a housing crisis, you're introducing legislation that allow landlords to jack up rents to so-called market rate in between tenancies, which will result in more children being evicted into homelessness. It is a disgrace.
The government insists this is about striking a balance between tenants and landlords while also attracting investment to increase supply.
There are very important protections which the Deputy has deliberately ignored in respect of these measures. The 6 years gives a security of tenure that we never had in this country before and aligns us more with European rental systems.
The opposition is also demanding more time to debate such a major change, but in the face of a looming deadline, the bill will be forced through the Dáil tonight. This is one of the most consequential decisions taken by the government in a bid to fix the rental market. But with rents expected to rise in the short term, it seems that there is more political pain ahead. Sandra Hurley, RTE News, Leinster House.
Well, let's speak to our political correspondent, Micheál Martin, who joins us from Leinster House. Micheál, so this bill on changing the rules around tenancies will go through the Dáil tonight, but how soon will the effects be seen, do you think?
Well, in the last few minutes, Sinn Féin's Eoin O'Brien has told the Dáil that it is estimated that up to 60,000 people could be coming up against those market-set rates for rent over the course of the next year. So I suppose that will show the impact quite quickly. And as Sandra Hurley said, the government has already conceded that in the short term there is an expectation that rents will rise. I suppose the measure of this is probably some way off, though, overall politically. And it was interesting today that when the Social Democrats leader Holly Kearns was speaking during leaders' questions, she spoke about the next general election and essentially sketching out that campaign on this key issue, saying who will people listen to more. I think it's at that point that the government will be judged on this. Will it be the case that tenants will have more protections and that ultimately supply will have been increased and rents will fall and there will be more homes for sale at a cheaper price? Or will it be the case that they continue to rise? That is going to be the key judgment point on this.
Separately today, Taoiseach Micheál Martin made a very deliberate statement about the British agent known as Stakeknife and the official naming of him. What did he have to say?
Yes, the Dáil spent several hours discussing Operation Canova, which is looking at the actions of the British agent in the IRA. And there was criticism of the British government over how he was allowed, in the words of the Justice Minister, to kill in such a relaxed way. Then the Taoiseach did something that the British government hasn't done and officially named that British agent in the Dáil chamber, as you'll hear now.
It is widely known that Stakeknife was Freddie Scappaticci. He was recruited by the British Army, with whom he worked between the late 1970s and 1990s. He was a prized informant, and during this period the British Army dedicated a 24-hour phone line within its intelligence section to his calls. Throughout this time, Stakeknife was implicated in what were by any measure grotesque and serious crimes committed for and with the provisional IRA.
Now, the naming of Freddie Scappaticci is significant. I understand that it has caught the British government by surprise and that there is a degree of unease about it. This matter was being examined by lawyers, and of course the situation at the moment and the precedent around this is that the names of agents are neither confirmed nor denied. So that principle is something that has been guarded, but now you have a situation where another Prime Minister, Taoiseach, has named that British agent, and this coming at a time when relations are seeking to be repaired when it comes to that key issue around legacy. Officially, British government statement saying that this matter is still the subject of litigation and that the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland will update the British Parliament when it's possible to do so.
Political correspondent Micheál Martin, thank you.